You're welcome to another edition of Prime Flash on My Media Prime Television with me, AUDREY ZATSA. A woman whose name we got as Crystal has given up the ghost at the St. Paul Hospital in Douala as she was coming to put birth. The incident occurred over the weekend as Crystal, accompanied by her elder sister, wanted to give birth to her third child. According to reports, upon arrival at the said medical center, just one nurse was on duty for the whole hospital, with all specialists absent. 5 hours later, Crystal died after having put to birth, and due to the absence of medical care some minutes later, the baby equally gave up the ghost. Cameroonian rapper, popularly known as Tenor, has pleaded guilty for the death of Erica Molium. According to information received, the hearing occurred yesterday at the Court of First Instance of Douala Bonanjo, as Tenor pleaded guilty before the judges and equally renounces his request for provisional release. Present at the hearing of the Court of First Instance was the collective supporting the family of the late Erica Molium with their slogan, Justice for Erica. As a reminder, Thierry Mingumu, alias Tenor, has been in custody at Newbell Prison for a month on charges of manslaughter. He is accused of being responsible for a tragic accident that took the life of Erica Molium, a young student. The tragedy occurred on July 15, 2021 at the Besenge Red Light in Douala. The 2021-2022 academic year has effectively begun in the 10 regions of the country. According to the Ministries of Basic and Secondary Education, close to 7 million students answered present in their various schools yesterday, September 6, as school resumed. Dolly Ngonde visited some of these schools and painted the effervescence of this year's back to school. Her report.
Despite the uncertainty that prevailed as per the September 6th school resumption date, pupils, students and teachers have answered present in their numbers at their various campuses nationwide. Here in Douala, a stopover at the Presbyterian Secondary School Bonaberi confirms an effective start of the 2021-2022 academic year, but not without the compliance to COVID-19 barrier measures.
Before the school resumption even, the administrator of PSS Douala were prepared. We had kept the compound very clean. We had fumigated all the dormitories since a boarding school. As from today in the school, we have as attendance 65.78%. Out of 761 students that we're expecting in the school, we have 500 students who have come, and we're still expecting about 123, minus the lower 6 students who will be coming on the 17th of September.
With effective learning underway, those in the examination classes are also conscious in maximizing their spare time, reason behind their consistent GCE 100% track record in 5 years. A flip over to the Douala Academy of Arts and Science, the back-to-school ambience is on. The provision of COVID-19 sanitary kits, effective lectures, and ongoing admission can tell no one is left out of the train. But how did the students spend their summer vacation, and how prepared are they for this academic year?
I actually spent my holidays well. I passed some time on reading, sometimes on playing, because holidays is for fun too sometimes, so I had to read some of my books and also enjoy the holiday. I'm very prepared for everything, prepared for the teachers, the lessons they're going to give, and I hope I'll make my best.
Talking with the principal of DAS, this is how the day's turnout has been rated in her school.
Today's turnout for teachers is 100%. But for students, you know, with resumption like this, some parents are not yet financially ready, so the turnout may not be 100%. But then all the classes have at least students.
Similarly, at the Chonko Bilingual College, running the general, commercial and industrial educational orientations, students have also answered present with effective learning and practical sessions for a promising academic year.
The school resumed. They were very happy even in class. Normally, as you put the gate, there was a book, everything. And then the morning assembly, morning devotion.
It is an effective back to school, but what role did parents play to ensure it goes hitch-free?
I started preparing my children right from where they got their holiday. Yes, because there was like organizing some holiday classes which my students attend, and from what they have been doing, They performed very well, and I thought it wise for them to continue in Chonke.
With a satisfactory turnout in most schools visited here in the nation's economic capital, Douala, it is hoped that the start of the academic year 2021-2022 will witness a successful end.
1824 minus 7.
Over in Bamenda, alleged separatist fighters in Bali, northwest region of the country, have passed an ultimatum banning the functioning of all Presbyterian churches in Bali. According to them, the Reverend Father or Pastor Funky Samuel refused telling the truth concerning the perpetrators of the deadly shooting of a Christian during a live session on August 22, 2021. Student journalist on internship Manuela Tamo tells us more.
Suspected separatist fighters in Balinyonga, Mezam Division, Northwest Region have passed an ultimatum banning the functioning of all Presbyterian churches in the area. They say the moderator, Reverend Funky Samuel Foba, refused condemning government forces of the church shooting that killed one Christian, Madam Grace Titalabit, on August 22, 2021. Pastor Simon, who was leading the service, suffered a gunshot wound on his right hand, also denied knowing those responsible for the deadly shooting. The witnesses and Christians sided with the alleged separatist fighters and blamed government forces for the deadly shooting. The commander of the separatist group demands the immediate resignation of the two pastors. If not, all Presbyterian churches must remain closed in Bali.
The Bali Buffaloes, the Bali Restoration Force, hereby ban the Presbyterian Church from functioning in Balinyonga until the moderator of Balinyonga resign, and the parish pastor of Presbyterian Church Tanfuang, Reverend Munto Simon, he resigned until Presbyterian Church will continue for Balinyonga.
As a result of this, separatist fighters advise parents to distance themselves from any activities that concerns Presbyterian churches operating in the conflict-stricken area.
And following the ban of PCC in Balinyonga, the moderator, Reverend Funky Samuel, has called on Christians and pastors to leave or to stop worshipping in Bali. Let's now have this excerpt.
And God we are serving is still on his throne. Of course, you heard the incident that took place in Kamfuang in Bali. And I know that all of you have the video of Grandpa, who said yesterday that all the doors of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon should be closed. I'm so happy that he did not close the doors of all the churches in Bali. So the Catholic churches are opened, the Muslim mosques are opened, the Cameroon Baptist Convention churches are opened, and the Pentecostal churches are opened. If the gospel in the land of Bali cannot be preached by the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, we can move out of Bali quietly and let the other churches continue to grow the Church of God and to nurture the people of Bali.
Out of the country, in Libya, residents of the capital, Tripoli, have questioned the timing of the release of Sadi Gaddafi, a son of Libya's late president Muammar Gaddafi, who was overthrown and killed in a 2011 uprising. During the 2011 uprising, Sadi Gaddafi fled to Niger but was extradited to Libya in 2014 and has been imprisoned in Tripoli ever since. Libyans have reacted with most against his liberation. The former professional footballer was accused of crimes committed against protesters in 2011 and of killing Libyan football coach Bashir Al-Rayyan in 2005, but was qualified or acquitted as of Al-Rayyan's murder in 2018. Guinea's main opposition leader Diallo Selou has welcomed the coup against Alpha Condé last Sunday, September 5, 2021. In a press conference on Monday, the latter expressed his desire to work with the military junta commanded by Mamadou Doumbouya, the man behind the coup. He mentioned that the National Committee for Rally and Development can count on the support of the National Alliance for Change and Democracy in the effort to build a peaceful democracy in Guinea. The mayor of Limbe Council has expressed satisfaction to the organizing committee of the Limbe City Council Holiday Football Tournament for keeping the flames of the tournament burning high for 20 or 12 years. This was during the closing ceremony of the 12th edition of the Limbe City Council Football Tournament over the weekend. Tamfu Okuma Honore tells us more.
Mukunda FC are the winners of this year's edition of the Limbe City Council Interquarter Football Tournament after beating Bota Ports FC 1-0 during normal playing time. The kickoff of the 12th edition of the tournament was presided at by the Senior Divisional Officer for FACO, Emmanuel Ngamba Ledu, accompanied by the Limbe City Mayor alongside a cross-section of administrative and political authorities from the Limbe municipality. Addressing the mammoth crowd which turned out to watch this enticing encounter at the Limbe Centenary Stadium, the Limbe City Mayor, Mutanga Andrew Munjimba, expressed satisfaction to the organizing committee for keeping the flames of the tournament burning for 12 years and to have attained greater heights. He added that the tournament has stamped an indelible legacy in the city of Limbe, making it worthy of the city's slogan, the town of friendship. Mutanga Andrew Munjimba reminded the population that the city of Limbe will intensify its cleanup campaigns to meet up with the expectation of welcoming guests who will be present to watch matches slated for Limbe. On his part, the chairman of the organizing committee thanked the Limbe City Council for its stride in empowering youth during the holiday through the use of sports and football in particular. He appreciated the City Council for taking the bull by the horn to organize the holiday football tournament with very encouraging prizes despite the prevailing situation in the country which brought about untold hardship and economic stagnation. This year's edition saw the participation of 8 teams, with Mukunda FC and Bota Ports making their way to the finals. Mukunda FC carried home a trophy, medals, and the sum of 1 million francs CFA for the first prize. Bota Ports FC backed home the sum of 750,000 francs CFA and medals for the first runners-up, while United Skills FC of Isokolo carried home the sum of 350,000 francs CFA for the second runners-up. The city mayor equally used the opportunity to call on pupils and students to resume school come Monday, September 6th, as education is an inalienable right of all children, which nobody should deprive them of their right to education.
And still talking about sport, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon have lost to the Elephants of La Côte d'Ivoire by a lone goal yesterday at Ivory Coast. The match ended 2-1, seeing the indomitable Lions losing in their Group D of the 2022 Qatar World Cup qualifiers. Ndile Emmanuel, student journalist on internship, has details. And in the absence of this, ladies and gentlemen, on this note, we close the curtains of today's edition of Prime Flash. Thanks for your keen attention. You will get details in our 6:30 p.m. Prime News with Fon Quinta. Meanwhile, stay blessed in the company of programs on My Media Prime Television. Bye.